Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of Fringe Coverage. This podcast profiles the stories, swings, and stars of the LPGA Tour. And whether you're new to women's golf or a longtime fan, hopefully this podcast helps you develop your own rooting interest in women's professional golf. And Tom, man, I am so excited today. We are joined by one of Sweden's brightest golf stars, Maja Stark. She's a major champion, an Olympian, a Solheim Cup veteran, and one of the most fearless competitors on the LPGA Tour. Since earning her card back in 2022, Maja has become a mainstay at the top of LPGA leaderboards and rankings, reaching as high as 6th in the world after her win at the 2025 U.S. Women's Open at Erin Hills. This season, Maja has logged 2 top 10s, made 13 of 14 cuts, and next month you can see her making her 3rd appearance for Team Europe in the 2026 Solheim Cup. Maja, thanks for joining us. Welcome to Fringe Coverage.
Thank you so much.
All right. Well, we're going to dive into all sorts of fun stuff, but we're just coming off the AIG Women's Open. Really a crazy stretch of, I think 3 of your last 4 events have been majors. What are we doing with an off week?
Oh, I have been doing nothing. I went to the range today and I just had a lesson with my mom. Me teaching her, not her teaching me. So, yeah, it was fun.
So did you go straight from the AIG home to Sweden?
Mm-hmm, I did.
And then how much time do you get to spend there before you're off to your next tournament?
I'm leaving on Saturday to go back to Nashville, where I live. And then I have 2 days in Nashville, and then I go to Portland.
Jeez. An off week all of a sudden doesn't sound that relaxing, man. You're on to the next real fast. So,
yeah, I don't feel like it's an off week. This is just a little layover until the next one.
But hey, at least your mom got a golf lesson out of it.
Yeah, of course.
The important things. Mm-hmm. So we mentioned, obviously, you just kind of went through the gauntlet of major season. The LPGA season famously has a really tight window there where you guys cram in all of your majors. With the 5 majors behind you, but still a big chunk of the season left, how would you assess your season to this point?
I think it's been really good. I haven't really had a season like this where it just feels kind of steady. Yeah, as you said, made a lot of cuts this year, and it feels like my lows aren't very low anymore, and that's a really nice feeling. Other than that, like I keep learning. I keep feeling like every week I have the chance to win, but then I evaluate the rounds and then the whole tournament, and I see, I gotta be better at this or this or this. So I feel like it's not completely stress-free because I still get nervous and stuff, but it's way more stress-free than it used to be, for sure.
Now with the majors in the past, do you tweak the way that you look at the rest of the season?
Not really. I think I just get more relaxed because it feels like obviously every tournament still matters, but it feels like I don't get as stressed because it feels like so many people only care about the majors, and obviously the majors went well this year. So I think this is kind of the time for me to maybe relax a little bit and just kind of have fun, kind of try more things maybe with like shape shots on the course, trying different strategies and stuff, seeing if I should be more aggressive, less aggressive. But I don't think it's going to change that much. Can probably be a little bit more aggressive now that we have some easier courses coming up, hopefully.
I would think so. I mean, using Lytham as the baseline, I think everything's going to be easier from there. Are you still recovering from pot bunkers right now?
Oh, it was disgusting. I came in after that Friday, and it felt like I'd been to war. I told my caddy when we were done after 18, I said this was the hardest day of my life because it was just you're battling against so many bunkers, and it feels like there are so many easy holes on that course, but then you just can't get to the pins because it was firm and windy. And then you're finishing with like 15, 16, 17, 18, and they're some of the hardest holes. Like maybe not 16, but 15, we hit, I don't even know what I hit, like 2 iron or something stupid.
Jeez.
Yeah. So I mean, it's fun, but it's just so freaking hard.
Well, you just said the word that I'm always so curious about. You said it's fun. Is it one of those things that you look back and it was fun? Are you feeling fun in the moment? What does fun feel like when this is your job and you're being tested harder than you are the rest of the season?
Well, you should probably ask my caddy that. I do think I might have said I hate golf a couple of times that day, but I think that's what makes it fun. You know, it's very different from what we usually do, and it's like a run. You don't enjoy it when you're doing it, but then when it's over, you're like, oh, that was nice. Like, and it can be the hardest thing you've ever had to do, and then you like especially that Friday, I made birdie 16 and 17, and then I saved a bogey on 18. And I just thought, I'm so freaking proud of myself. Like I shot one over, but I was like, freaking pat on the back for me because it was so hard, but I still enjoy it. I mean, that's why I like major golf so much because you get just beaten down and it feels like you can play your heart out, but you're still not getting any results. And obviously, I don't want it like that every week, but I think it's so much more fun than a normal just birdie competition.
For sure. I mean, and you've obviously you have a very hard major under your belt already, a win back at Erin Hills. You've won a U.S. Women's Open. Obviously, you have played very well in U.S. Women's Open with, I wrote this down right before we got on air today. You've top 16'd in 5 of your last 7. I mean, like those are really, really outrageous stats for what should be one of the hardest tests of the year, including 3 top 10s. When you think about whether it's coming off of Lytham and the test you just had there, what have U.S. Women's Opens and just more difficult major golf, what is brought out in you, or what is it that you feel on the course that not only feels different week to week, but ends up in better results for you, comparatively speaking?
I think I just come in with a different mindset. I think I come in with this is gonna be tough, and I have like a par is always good, and just kind of the just keep playing mentality. Like, and you can afford to have a bogey or a double, but just avoid the really high numbers. So whereas on a normal week, I think I chase too much. And I see the leaderboard, and it's always like the leaders are at 8 under after the first day. And if you're sitting in the clubhouse and you have a tee time on the Thursday afternoon, and you see, oh shoot, I gotta shoot 3 under to be in the top 30. That that kind of stresses me out. I try to not let it do that, but it feels like it just kind of happens, and I try to not look at the leaderboards anymore, but they're everywhere. So
I would imagine it's hard to not want to scoreboard watch and kind of know what you need to shoot going into that day.
yeah, but then do I ever shoot better because I looked at the scoreboard? No. So I don't know why I do it.
We hear people all the time. There's always a question of, do you look at leaderboards and do you not? Most people say like, hey, it's kind of hard to avoid them. Do you have to proactively look away? Like, are we at the point now in terms of the way the courses are set up and where there are scoreboards? Are you actually having to, you kind of see it in your periphery and you look down, or do you just find yourself locked in and at the end of the round, you realize you never looked?
It's a little bit different depending on the tournaments. I mean, US Open this year was ridiculous. There were scoreboards everywhere.
Everywhere.
I had all the stats and what the average score was on the hole and everything. And I tried to put my head down and just not worry about it, but I couldn't. So I was kind of looking. Also, I just kind of wanted to see what other people were doing because they would have like the group's stats on the board, so you couldn't see the whole leaderboard always. But it's so hard to avoid it, and I don't want to be one of those people who's afraid of looking at it and saying, oh shoot, I caught a glimpse and now I know where I'm at, so I'm gonna mess it up. Like I don't want to be scared of seeing a leaderboard, so I've kind of just, I don't know, try to desensitize myself to it and just be like, oh, there's the leaderboard. Huh, look at that. Okay, let's move on and do what I need to do. Just ask myself what do I need to do now, and not really worry about the results, because I feel like it's also become easier lately for me to just focus on the process and just knowing that you're not going to win every week, but you're just playing against yourself and just trying to make yourself better.
Well, let's talk about that process. This is something that you've been super open about, especially over the last 12 to 18 months of some of the anxiety and mental struggles you've had. Can you share a little bit more about some of the challenges you have faced over the last year or two?
Yeah, so it feels like after the US Open last year, I just kind of, I don't know, I just couldn't find my rhythm really. I just started working with a new caddy and we were great friends, but it felt like just something wasn't clicking. So there was this little bit of frustration for me, like we were working so well together at the US Open. It feels like everything, I compared everything to the US Open and other people compared everything to the US Open. And I just kind of put, it feels like there was just a spotlight on me. And I don't really like attention. I don't really want to be the one who people are looking at. I would very much, I mean, obviously it's fun with spectators and stuff, but if I go out and I play around by myself, I'm having just as much fun as if I was walking down the last fairway at a US Open. Like I'm doing it more for me, I guess. But it feels like all of a sudden everyone had something to say about my golf, and it felt like my expectations also went up because I was like, oh, I know what I need to do, so why don't I just do that every week? And it just felt like all this frustration was building up inside me, and then after a while I just did not care about golf, and I wished that other people wouldn't see my golf. I just kind of wanted to disappear a little bit. So then I started talking more to my team about it. Went back to my old caddy that I had for several years, and it just felt nice to be with someone that knows me really well. And he knew that I was struggling, and he still believed in me. And luckily, we got it back pretty quick. But I started working with a therapist, and I have my sports psychologist, and I have a mental coach, and it just feels like we just figured I need to fix my brain before I can fix my golf.
Now that you've had a few seasons under your belt and you've been successful, do you allow yourself a little bit more grace? Like you don't need to have such high expectations for yourself and try to prove yourself all the time?
Yeah, for sure. When we played Evian here a few weeks ago, I hate the Evian course. It's nice, it's beautiful, but it just doesn't fit my eye because it feels so narrow, and it feels like you have to hit the perfect shot, and it is also a little bit of a birdie competition. So I was hitting good tee shots, and then I don't know if it was I think it was on the third day. I just pulled a crap out of a tee shot and hit it OB. And I was about to be mad. And then I said, well, I've done it pretty well so far. And if I'm not allowed to make mistakes, I'm in the wrong sport. So it, that was kind of just the thing that got me into, like, I'm allowed to make mistakes. My coach is allowed to make mistakes. My caddy's allowed to make mistakes, and not everything has to be perfect because that makes you afraid to mess up. Whereas now I just say, that was a mistake. Okay, just see it and learn from it. And now hopefully you'll do better next time. And I think it's just freed me up a lot.
How hard is that using that as the example? How hard is that in the moment to have you're having that moment where you maybe want to break a putter, for example, just using that one as an example. What goes through your head to be able to settle yourself down and have any other thoughts other than probably the anger you have of that shot you just pulled OB?
That's a weird one because it feels like I've become such a different person from last year. And now I don't really even have the urge to do that. So it's a hard one to say. I've been working a lot on just anxiety off the course and stuff, and trying to piece together everything in my life and noticing when I'm stressed or anxious, and just kind of get myself back to just a normal level. It's like you can play good golf, and then you all of a sudden you like chunk the crap out of it. And it doesn't really matter for you because you've been playing so well before. So it's fine. Whereas if you're having a bad day, you just get more and more frustrated. But now it feels like I can catch myself way quicker and bring myself back to, okay, we're fine. We're just going to hit the next shot and just going to do that as well as we can. So obviously it's taken a lot of work to get to here, but I don't know. I just feel like it's not like cheating, but I don't even have the urge to be mad like that anymore or break a putter because I would never do that.
No, that was just a random example I pulled.
Yeah.
What? So I'm fascinated by how anxiety and honestly, how just any increase or decrease in energy on the course manifests itself in your golf swing. And whether it's if you're going through a rough stretch during the course of a season and having to figure out whether you need to kind of do some technical swing changes or whether it's a mental thing or a mix of the two. Did you know at the front end of this after the US Open at Erin Hills, did you know from the jump that this was a mental piece for you? And if so, how were you feeling it in your golf swing or were you just feeling wound up all the time or both?
I was just feeling wound up all the time. It felt like I couldn't finish a thought. I couldn't really think, oh, why did that happen? Because my brain would just kind of go blank and just be so filled with frustration. So I just physically could not figure it out because I was, missing something. But then we got it back, and I started working on my breathing and just breathing properly because it turned out that I hadn't been breathing properly my whole life. So I started working with a new physiotherapist, and she's been great at noticing that. And, I used to have a lot of problems with my ribs and stuff. Now I don't really have that anymore. They used to lock up once a year. Now they haven't done that. So it feels like so many of my mental struggles have affected my body and my swing. You get fast, it gets really hard to care about your golf when you're just frustrated and want to get away from it. So sometimes it was like I was happy when I missed the cut because I got to go home or I got to not be looked at anymore. So yeah, it was just a very weird period where I didn't know what I needed. I needed other people to tell me and to help me through that. And that was kind of a first where it felt like I just could not figure anything out myself.
So given you've had your card since 2022, how, looking back at that, Maja, to now, obviously we just talked about a lot of the mental work you've done, but overall, how has your relationship with golf evolved over these last 5 years?
I think I like it more and more every year. Honestly,
Heck yeah.
It feels like I'm getting better, and now that I can think clearly as well, it feels like I'm evolving. And and my coach told me earlier this year, he just said, Maja, I don't want to, this doesn't mean anything, but I'm just very happy that you've been working on your mental stuff because you would be pissed at that shot last year. Now you're saying, oh, it wasn't great. But like I used to be so mad on the course or just on the range. And now I can actually just hit a bad shot, laugh at it, and then move on. And that's more kind of how I played when I was an amateur. When I was an amateur, I used to never be mad. I would get sad that I was playing bad, but I wouldn't really slam clubs. I wouldn't really do any of that stuff. But then as soon as I turned pro, it was like a switch flipped in my brain, and all of a sudden every shot felt so important. And you do the classic thing, like you start like hitting yourself with a putter, like doing everything like that. And I just thought, well, this isn't me. This isn't as much fun as I had when it didn't matter. And I feel like I'm back to, you know what, I'm golfing for fun. I love my life outside of golf. I'm just, why am I doing this if I'm not enjoying it?
For me, that's the thing that I would love to attain. I would love to be able to you know, the shots will get there eventually, but just to be able to be comfortable in your game and mentally enjoy the game of golf, that's the golden ticket. I would love to get there someday, some point.
The wheels
Also-
come off.
Yeah, I also always tell my parents that if you don't know what you're doing wrong, you're not allowed to get mad, because then you're just going to walk around being mad all the time, and
Ooh, I
that's
like
no
that.
good.
Yeah.
Whereas
That's a
if you
good
know
one.
what you're doing wrong, then you can be a little frustrated at yourself. But also, we all make mistakes.
So, Tom, in that case, on the golf course, neither of us can ever get mad because we'll never know what we're doing wrong, other than just duck hooks left probably isn't a good enough
Pure
explanation.
bliss. I'm just going to approach every game of golf with just a blank slate.
So, one thing fascinates me about your journey, and it goes from your transition from Sweden to Stillwater, Oklahoma. I'm sure you've been asked this question. What was that transition like? And just kind of talk about some of the stark differences you experienced between those two.
Like it wasn't really that hard for me. I went to boarding school for high school, so I knew how to live without my parents. But obviously, it was a lot more focused on golf. It felt like my whole day was so busy with school, and back in my days, we didn't have ChatGPT to write our papers, so I actually did it myself. And but I just loved it. I loved my teammates. I thought it was so fun to have this group of people that you love, and you get to hang out with them every single day. And I was living, like my roommate at the time was also one of my teammates, and we still keep in touch. And it was just, I don't know, I just loved how busy it was and how draining it was sometimes. And you're in Stillwater, so there's not much to do other than play golf anyway. But I felt like the people really made Stillwater feel like it was a good place to be. If I had to say what's the worst state, I would probably say Oklahoma, because there's nothing really there. But for going to school, Stillwater was incredible.
Any big culture shock moments?
I don't cheese fries. I still don't really get that.
What do you mean you don't get it?
It's not good, guys.
Oh.
It's not good. It's just soggy and weird, and the cheese isn't good. So yeah, that was the biggest one, I think.
I
You
love
like
that
cheese
answer.
and you like fries, you just don't like them together. Is
Yeah,
that right?
don't put them. Yeah.
How would you compare just the people of where you grew up versus what you experienced once you moved to the States?
I actually had to take breaks from my teammates sometimes, because we had a couple of teammates from Dallas, and they were just, we called one of them motor mouth, and I got so overwhelmed by all the talking, and I love my teammates, but I just thought I can't warm up right now, because they're just like, oh my God. And so I remember distinctly this one time where, we were warming up before a qualifier, and I went in and had lunch by myself, and one of my teammates and one of my teammates' moms and her sister were sitting in the restaurant at Karsten, and they just kind of looked at me and said, "Oh, are you not playing in the qualifier?" I said, "Yeah, I am. I just needed like 20 minutes alone. So I just needed to be away from the team." Whereas, so that was probably the biggest thing. Just so much chat.
Am I right in saying that you were at OK State during COVID?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I went there in January in 2020, and I left. What was it? May of 2021. So
Sheesh.
it was a short but sweet.
That's a tough time to be in school, period. I don't care where you are.
Yeah, it was the worst.
I can't even imagine. Okay, so we talked about team golf. I think there's a natural transition here that probably is one of your more favorite subjects to talk about on the golf course. It just was announced, while it was probably a foregone conclusion for you, that the European Solheim Cup team was just announced, and you are now on your third team. First off, how crazy is that this is already your third Solheim Cup team?
Makes me feel so old just thinking about it. I feel the same. I'm just as excited and I'm just as nervous, but I don't know. I can tell that the rookies were a lot more shook than I was.
The thing that interests me the most is there just a group text chat that starts immediately?
Mhm.
Like, are you adding these new players as they're being announced and welcoming to the team? Are you already getting team parties going before some bonding moments going?
Yeah, so we had um, just a camp in at Bernardus actually after Evian. So it wasn't the exact same team that now is going, um, but so that's already when it kind of started, and you kind of got you get the feel for how it might look, and you get to meet the captains and stuff. Um, so already there, you already have a group chat going, and then when the team was officially announced, or well, we had a dinner at the British on the Sunday. So it was a day before the team was officially announced, and it was so much fun, and it just feels like a really great group of players. And Anna is phenomenal. I think that she is just really herself, and she really wants to make sure that everyone is having a good time, and that's her top priority. But you know how competitive she is, so she obviously wants to win, and she will work her butt off to make sure that we have everything that we need.
So, what are the differences you already have seen and expect to see between Suzanne and Anna as captains?
I don't think you can get two people who are more on the opposite sides of the personality spectrum. Obviously, Susanne is just more intense. She is a lot louder. I think that just Anna, she just kind of likes just blending in and just being one of the girls. I mean, Suzanne, yeah, Suzanne is Suzanne, and she's just loud, and she'll tell you exactly what she thinks, and which is really funny. And Anna is, I mean, she's so great. I am so happy to be on a team with Anna, because I think that she's obviously played so many Solheim Cups, so she knows what she likes, and I think that she's kind of like we talked about Beanie Matthews and how she was as a captain, and Anna described her, and I just thought, oh, that sounds exactly like you. So I think it's going to be great.
So I've heard you talk about Anna in the past of just saying she's been really supportive and helpful for younger players and has really taken the time. How so? What is it that you've seen her do?
I mean, she's answered every single question we have. Earlier this year, she was at a Swedish golf team camp with. We had some amateurs and some pros, and she took her time to have a Q&A with us, and there was a lot of questions that we had, and she's just so generous with her time. She had been doing a lot with the Swedish Golf Federation, and we have this thing called the big girls camp, where I don't know how many girls it's maybe 50, 100 girls just meet up, and took time out of her busy schedule because it was right in the summer, and she went and just spent the day there, and we had a Q&A and everything, and then I think it was maybe the week after she went and won Evian in 2017, I think it was. So I mean, it feels like she loves giving back because she knows that she gets energy from it, obviously. But she's just been very generous, and it feels like, you've heard some people ask other pros what, like, how do I do this? Who do I talk to about taxes? And they kind of say, you'll have to figure it out, kid. But Anna's never been like that. She wants to share her knowledge because she's just a just a nice person.
Do you feel like you can go to her and say, I would like to be partnered with this person, or I feel like I'd be really good at four ball? Or do you feel like as a veteran, now that this is going to be your third one, you're a little bit more comfortable voicing your opinion on what you want to see from the Solheim Cup team?
Yes, but I think also that she has asked us a lot of questions. I mean, she sent out a survey, I think it was last year, asking us what would we like to have, what would we like her to do, and stuff like that. So she has thought about these questions before I'd ever thought about my opinions. Um, so she has already asked who I would want to play with, kind of asked like for the wild card situations, or the captain's picks, who we thought. And it's really cool to have that influence now and get to see a little bit behind the scenes and how the captains think. But yeah, I think that she has thought through everything so much already.
So when you get asked who you want to play with, was your answer anybody but Lynn?
Yes, yes. Hate her.
She's the worst.
Yeah.
So you've teamed up with Lynn. I mean, you've had some amazing teammates over the years, right? Whether it's four ball or foursomes, Georgia, Emily. What have you found for Maja Stark? What makes the ideal partner?
I think it's someone who knows you. You know, I don't really like pep talks. If I get a pep talk, I'm probably not going to be playing better. So I think it's someone that you can be honest and just be like, hey, that wasn't helpful, or whatever. I mean, me and Lynn, we never have pep talks. We have we have delusion when we play. It's so fun. Like, we can be losing so bad, but we still say we have the momentum. We have the momentum. We're gonna get this. So it just feels like you just need someone that doesn't care too much. You know, everyone's trying their hardest. Yeah, it feels like honestly, I can see myself playing with anyone on the team this year, because I genuinely really like all the people that are on the team. And I think that maybe as a veteran, and I know what I want now, maybe I can be more like, if someone tries to give me a pep talk, I can say, hey, we don't have to do this. Whereas before, I
Is your
didn't
caddy not
really.
allowed to give you pep talks?
Oh no, I banned him from saying nice things to me because I start crying. So he's only allowed to roast.
Ooh, we're gonna get into roasting in just a little bit. I'm gonna put a pin in that. So, do you have a preference on four ball or foursomes? Just your own format choice?
Not really. I think I'm maybe better at foursomes, because in four balls, I think I start chasing a little bit too much. But obviously, I love golf and I want to play everything. So I hope that Anna doesn't like. I hope that Anna picks me for everything.
Yeah,
But
you want to play
obviously-
5 sessions for sure.
Yeah, yeah. But obviously, she knows what's best for the team. And if I play like crap, I will probably realize it myself, and I won't want to play. But yeah, just putting that out there.
Well, Coach Nordquist, if you're listening, you heard it here first. Maja, unlike all of her teammates, would like to play 5 sessions and probably wants to lead singles on Sunday. So in your previous 2 Solheim Cups, is there a player or a couple players who have just not completely changed once the Solheim Cup starts? Like, whether it's just energy levels or they just turn into a beast that you just didn't see coming?
Well, I played, I think, 3 of my 4 matches last time we were against Lauren Coughlin, and she is a sneaky beast. She's so nice and so sweet. And we're good friends, and she's just disgusting in match play. I mean, she made so many putts. She's just forward off. I mean, Emily Pedersen, when I played with her, she tried to psych her out by Lauren hit this shot that was a little bit to the right, not bad at all. But we were losing pretty bad against her and Sarah Schmelso, I think it was. And so Lauren hits this shot that isn't going outside the ropes, but is kind of going towards the ropes. And Emily just goes, full right. Oh my God. And I said, Emily, what are you doing? And she goes, I'm trying to get inside her head.
No.
I said, it's Lauren. You can't get inside her head. Lauren is the steadiest person you'll ever meet. And she's just so solid. She's such a solid ball striker, and nothing pisses me off more than their little like point to the hole
Dropped
when it
it.
goes. Yeah, Yeah, and she's, I don't know. It disgusts me because she's so sneaky about it and she looks so nice and she pisses me off so much and she knows it. But I make fun of her for it, so it's all
I
good.
love that. I love that our listeners right now, like they can't see your face and think, wow, Maya must really hate Lauren. It's like, no, they've
Yeah.
vacationed together. Like they know each other really well. So for those of you listening, this is not a huge vendetta, although I'd love nothing more than Maya versus Lauren again. Although it is not lost on me that you're complimenting someone who does have a very similar game to your own. There are some major similarities to the way you two both go about ball striking and staying consistent. So I think there's a reason you two get along. But now I really want to see you two on the course, just so now I can look for. Would you even try to get in anyone's head at this point, Lauren or otherwise? Like, or is it at this point you just try to stay locked into just playing your game?
I just try to play my game. We've always kind of thought that in the Swedish Federation. We always said we show our game with our clubs, and we don't try to mess someone up because that's just not right. And I would feel terrible if I won a match because I made someone be off their game. Like that would feel terrible, and that's not what golf's about. That's what the Ryder Cup is about, not Solheim Cup.
So true. So true. Okay. This question interests me specifically for you, knowing the way some of the pressures you've put on yourself over the years. Pressure obviously ramps up to 1,000,000. People always think about that first tee shot at the Solheim Cup. What's more stressful, hitting the opening tee shot of the Solheim Cup or watching your teammate have a 10-foot putt to win when you can't control the outcome?
Probably the 10-foot putt. That gives me anxiety. You know, you can still be kind of excited about an opening tee shot, but just watching someone else do something, and you know, for a 10-foot putt, the odds are not in your favor that you're gonna make it. And yeah, that's the worst feeling. I also suck at watching golf. Like last week at British, I watched pretty much the whole like the final round for the final groups, and I was a nervous wreck, and I didn't know who I was rooting for. I was just sitting there like, oh my god, she did this, she did that. What's happening? What's going on? And so yeah, I'm terrible. I'm terrible at watching people, and I'm probably better at playing myself. I think when I'm nervous, I usually hit better shots sometimes. So yeah.
Are you expecting the fans to really be behind Team Europe in
Oh, yeah.
Bernardus?
They better be. I mean, I've never experienced heckling before when we played at Robert Trent Jones. So um, I really hope that we can get them back this year. Classy, but yeah.
Are you expecting them to kind of talk USA?
No, not at all. But at least not talk trash about us.
Yeah,
What was any good Maja Stark heckles that we heard at RTJ?
No, they kind of suck. They were so
Yeah.
weird. I mean, what did they say? Like my last hole against Lauren on the Sunday, someone shouted to me and said, "Don't cry. We'll still give you your NATO money." And I just thought that was so dorky to bring up NATO, and I what? I'm not involved in that.
That's so weird. There's something, PGA and LPGA crowds are very different, and I'm not sure I'm fans of either one. Like PGA crowds can just get very rowdy, right? And just they want to hear their own voice on a national broadcast, so they'll yell loud. LPGA fans are kind of a weird breed. Sometimes I'm sure you've been on courses where you've hit some of the best shots and you don't get a clap. Like sometimes you wonder if like, hey, at certain courses, at certain parts of the world, is the golf IQ there versus, hey, we got people there, but they don't really know how to track a ball, or you realize how good that was to a tucked left pin. But they'll say LPGA crowds are weird. Tom and I were out at Riviera earlier this year, and some of the lack of cheers or when people chose to cheer was just bizarre.
Yeah. Honestly, these days, I I comment on it every time with my caddy. Just saying tough crowd. I'll probably say that like once around when we play in the US, because you can hit a perfect shot, but because you're from the wrong country or whatever, they won't cheer. And it's kind of funny at this point. People's eyesight aren't that good. They don't know what we're expecting
Yeah.
of ourselves, so I get it. But when it's really good, you should clap.
Yeah. Yeah.
Absolutely. Doesn't matter what country you're from. If you're doing something like that, yeah, you deserve some praise.
Okay, so you have been very outspoken about a charitable goal that I want to kind of give you the floor here to talk a little bit more about. So, to walk us through, for those that don't know, you said very early on you want to donate $1 million to charity over the course of your career. First off, where did that goal come from?
It kind of came from some desperation. I felt lack of motivation. And I was talking with my mental coach, and we just kind of thought, I had to set up like, why am I doing this? What do I want to achieve? And I thought, well, I don't know what else to do other than golf. But right now, it sucks. It was during the winter as well. And my motivation goes way down when I realized that I could just sit at home and get fat and just enjoy Christmas. So we were kind of just talking about how do I get myself motivated again? What external motivations can I have? And I just thought, well, I feel like there's a lot of people with a lot of money that don't do anything good with it. And I thought I really don't want to be one of those people. And I have the opportunity now to make some money and hopefully do something good with it. So that's kind of where it came from. And we've been making a plan, me and my financial advisors. So I'm really excited about it, that it can actually become a possibility, because when I set that goal up, it felt like it was so far away. Whereas now it looks like I'll be able to do it.
You hear that, fans?
Amazing.
That's why you should be rooting for Maja Stark.
Yeah, no kidding. Forget
their money.
Yeah, no kidding. What? Any specific causes or charities that especially pique your interest?
I mean, I have a soft spot for animals. I have 3 cats now. I'm fostering one. So probably for animal welfare.
Okay.
I don't really know. It feels like humans mess so many things up anyway. So it feels like it can go to the animals. Probably something we'll go back to sports in some way. Haven't really figured that out, but for sure animals.
Was fostering cats something that you started doing recently while you were going through some of your mental struggles, or have you always fostered cats?
No, I did it when I felt like I was way too much in my own head and I just needed to focus on something else. And I just thought, well, there's a thing called cage breaking. So it's basically you get a cat after, like the cats in PetSmart and stuff, you get them for a couple of weeks and then you return them just so they can get a break from the cage. And I got this one cat named Dolly, and I was only supposed to have her for 2 weeks. And then when I was going to give her back, I hated it. And the shelter or the organization that I got in touch with, they said, "Oh, all the PetSmarts are full." And I thought, okay, I'll just take her. Don't like twist my arm. I'll just keep her. And then I thought I need to get my cat a cat. So I got Kenny, and then Dolly, and then I did a cage break again for another cat because I have the space for it, and the more the merrier. So now we have Earl as well.
Slippery slope.
Maja, it is a slippery slope, and let's just get ahead of this now. You're on record as saying you love reading, knitting, and cats, which is basically like the holy trinity of old lady hobbies. What's next on the list? Like ultra soft yogurt and taking out your teeth? Like, what's next for you?
Well, I am going to the dentist to pull some teeth out in a month. Yeah, but that's wisdom teeth, so that's a young person thing. Well, I'm getting tattoos, so that feels like we're like tipping the scales towards.
Okay, we're balancing it out a little bit.
Yeah. I don't know. I kind of like doing everything. I like trying everything. We have a book club now on tour, so that's really cute. And Yeah, I don't know. I'm open to trying everything, and I love new experiences. So I'll probably have a few more hobbies by the end of this year.
Well, if you want to knit a Fringe Coverage scarf with a cat on it, I will take it. If you are bored on the plane, bust out those needles.
Give me a year.
Okay, perfect. Perfect. Hey, you can take as long as you want. Okay, so this is as good as time as any. We've talked about a lot of your interests here. We also know that you've over time played a lot of instruments. Tom himself is a drummer. He was very excited to hear that you play the drums. All right, we play a game called the MC. I know MC for you are two letters you never want to see during the course of your week. The game here is I'm going to give you 3 items, and you got to cut one. One's not making the weekend. And then we're going to do 3 instruments, and one of them's not going to make the cut. Drums, violin, or guitar? What's missing the cut?
Violin.
Oh, wow.
Not for me, dog.
Was that a short-lived instrument?
Yeah, it just sounds crap when you're bad at it. It's just not for me. No.
Do you get to drum a lot?
No, not anymore. My parents took the drum set apart and stored it because obviously I don't play it. Like I'm never here at home really, so my parents took it apart to free up some space. So now I don't do that at all anymore.
I figured living in Nashville, you're not inspired to have with that music scene there to have a drum kit there to be able to play around when you're home,
or a fiddle.
Well, fiddle would probably be better in my apartment. Also, I don't know what the cats would think about the drumming. I did get a guitar, so I do have that. But, everyone there is so good at their instruments. I'm not at that level. So I can't say that I play guitar and then show what I can do when they're like professionals.
Given your golf skills, I'm good with you not being an expert at everything. That would just make us all feel really bad about all the things we do. So let us have at least a few things of our own, Maja.
All right, then.
As you look at the rest of the season, is there a tournament that stands out to you? You know what? Let's just do for the entire calendar year, not just looking ahead. Is there a tournament you haven't won that stands out as the one you now want to win the most?
I think maybe British Open. They're so hard, and I like it, and I feel like there are so many things that I have to learn to win a British. When it comes to like controlling my spin, everything, practicing in the windy conditions. So I think that's one. I kind of want to win Portland just because I love the place. I love the course, and I think the people are so freaking nice. My favorite, one of my favorite host families are there. Then, yeah. So I don't know. It obviously would be great to win more than just those, but those are next on the priority list.
Well, we're recording this about a week and a half before Portland, so we'll check back in and see if you giving your mom a lesson helped you propel you to victory the next week. All right, forget the build, what it takes to host an LPGA tournament, sort of grandstands and everything else. If you could add one course to the tournament schedule and forget where it is on your already crazy travel schedule on the LPGA. But if there's just a course that's so special to you that you could guarantee it would be on the annual rotation, what course would you add?
I can't remember the name of it. It's in, but we played a European tour event on it. It's in Australia. I gotta look it up.
Man, there's a lot of good ones there.
They call it the Augusta of Australia. So it's, why can I not? It's in Coffs Harbour. I can't remember the name of it, but it was super special and it's really freaking cool. And Australia in general. Bonneville.
Nice, Tom.
Yeah. It's so beautiful. The course is really good. And I just think that the LPGA needs a tournament in Australia.
Amen. We had Hannah on a few weeks ago. We've got Karis, I think, next week, and I know that that's going to be something they're saying as well. Especially given as much travel as those ladies have to do to get around to that tour schedule. At the least we could do is give them something in their home country.
Exactly.
Okay, we're going to do some rapid fire personal questions. Get you out of here. Window or aisle seat?
Window.
All right, you get to your hotel room. Are you living out of your suitcase, or are you putting your clothes away when you get there?
Living out of my suitcase. It's organized chaos.
Is it organized, or is it just chaos?
It's somewhat organized. I don't have packing cubes yet, but I know the sections that everything goes in.
If we gave your friends you mentioned roasting earlier. You said your caddy's not allowed to say anything nice on the course, only roasting. If we gave the microphone to your caddy, to your friends, what would they roast you most about?
It used to be my temper on the course. Now it's probably crazy cat lady allegations, which I'm fine with. I love animals. I won't be ashamed of that. I don't know. I don't really get offended by much. So maybe they roast me all the time, but I just don't take it to heart.
You just don't know what's happening.
Yeah. Who knows?
You hear crazy cat lady and you're saying thanks.
Yeah.
I love that you get roasted by something. You just go, you know what? I'm just going to change that. Now you can't roast me about it anymore. Good luck with that.
Yeah.
That's a good way of doing it.
How many unread text messages do you have right now?
Oh, I think it's about 450.
No.
I'm bad. I'm really bad at it.
Not in the Solheim group chat, I hope.
I missed a couple. But
Whoa.
Yeah, I'm just really bad. I told my coach that I missed a few from my coach too. I told my coach that it's not natural for people to be available all the time. So unless I see you in person, pretend like I don't exist. You know, because I'm just terrible. I
You know
really,
what? That's probably way healthier than just being addicted to your phone, like me.
For sure.
That's a good way to go about things.
Perhaps.
I just have this image of Maja missing out on the biggest swing tips of all time because she didn't read her coach's text messages.
Oh, that's happened. He has said things like just at the British Open. He had texted me something on Tuesday, and we usually have no talk Tuesdays when he's out at tournaments.
I like you, Maja. I like the way you structure your life.
It gets too much if he talks about, and Joe knows this. Like he's a chatter, and sometimes it just gets too messy in my head. So we started having. Well, we actually started with no look Wednesdays, because if I feel him looking at me, I'll start overthinking stuff. And now we have no Taco Tuesdays. And then he had sent me something on maybe the Tuesday last week, and I didn't see it until Saturday afternoon, and I think it was about how to hit how to hit when it was really windy, and especially windy from left to right. And I just thought, oh damn, I wish I read my text messages, because that would be really great to know.
You need like a cell phone secretary that knows what to elevate to somehow get it to you. But you need to have like a baseline layer of like, weed out all of the stuff that I can wait on, but you need to know this. Dare I ask how many text messages you got after the U.S. Open at Erin Hills? Like, was it even possible to respond to all of them?
No. No, I haven't.
They're still unread.
I can. Oh yeah, I think the majority of them are from that. So, yeah.
Maja, we got your next overseas flight. We got to take some time to respond to some of these.
I bet it'd be very liberating to just say, like, mark them all as read and just get rid of all of them and say, you know what, if it was really important, they'll reach out again.
Just get rid of that red bubble.
The red bubble doesn't bother me. I'm fine with it. So it makes me feel wanted. So that's,
the red bubble is your security blanket. I like this.
Yeah. People think of me. It's great.
You've just
great
gamed the system. I'm just so impressed by the way she makes the world bend to her will. This is fantastic. Maja, I'm going to get you out of here on this question. Tom and I are playing golf tomorrow morning. We're going to sneak in a round of golf before we go to work. We are pretty much a dead heat most of the time when we play. We usually, I pretend like he should give me strokes, but I would never accept him anyway. So we're going to play straight up tomorrow. If I want you to say this in front of him, if I have a point either on a tee box or a putt that I want to get in his head, I know the Swedish Federation has trained you just to focus on your own game, but if I was to enlist Maja Stark's help to get in my opponent's head, whether it's saying something right before he lines up a putt, hits a tee shot, any tips to try to get under someone's feathers?
I mean, commenting on their tempo is always good, whether good or bad. You know, you can say, my coach actually got this. Someone said, "You're playing so great. You really rely on your tempo, huh?" And that just messed him up straight away after. So that's always an easy one. I'm so bad. I feel so bad if I try to roast people. So I can't do it. But just tempo. What messes me up? Well, if you just, I don't know if it's maybe reverse psychology. If you try to tell him to like hit it further, and then he actually slows down. So I don't know. Really know what works.
We're so bad that honestly, we're so bad that if I say just make sure you don't leave it short, that guarantees it's like 30 feet past. You know, just because one of those.
That's nice.
Yeah. Let's just say we're little babies when it comes to our mental game, so it doesn't take much to get in our heads.
Well, Mark doesn't know this. I'm implementing No Talk Thursdays tomorrow, so I will not be talking to him at all the entire week.
Great. That will get in my head. If you haven't noticed, I do like to talk. You're right. You are going to get me right away. Maja, this has been an absolute blast. We can't thank you enough for taking the time on your off week in Sweden with family. Hopefully we're not holding you up from giving your mom another lesson today. But best of luck the rest of the way. And certainly in Portland, we know you've got that date circled on your calendar. So best of luck next week and for the rest of the season.
Thank you so much. This has been so much fun.
Well, and I'm going to call this out now. Maja Stark, 2032 Solheim Cup captain. No pep talks. Just, good vibes.
Yikes! He force retired you, man. That's a tough
actually.
look, Tom. Give her 10 more years.
So
she'll 2040.
Maja, we're gonna do 2040, 2045, so you can donate like $5 million to charity,
Perfect.
and then it's time to hang it up. Okay?
Okay. Deal.
Maja, I really appreciate you. Take care.
You too.
If you have suggestions for players or topics to discuss on the podcast, send us an email at fringecoverage@gmail.com. And make sure you follow us on Instagram at Fringe Coverage Pod. And whether you're approaching from the fairway or the rough, we've got you covered inside the Fringe.